Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode.
You probably heard this past year that Mayfair Games sold the rights to their English version of Settlers of Catan to Asmodee.
The latest on that front is that Asmodee will be releasing a new version of the game. It'll follow in the line of a lot of other recent releases from other games, in that it'll be a legacy version.
Our buddy Greg at Asmodee actually hooked us up with a demo copy, so we'll be looking at Lords of Catan today in our Terrible 2
Minute Review. We'll try to keep this as spoiler-free today as we can. Obviously, anytime we talk about a legacy game, there are going to be some reveals, so you've been warned.
Lords of Catan is a 3 to 4 player game that, like the original, has you building towns and cities and extending roads to try to collect resources and collect the most victory points.
And just like in Settlers of Catan, players will be rolling dice and then collecting resources based on the corresponding numbered tiles. Players will collect those cards and they can trade them amongst each other, and then they can use them to turn into the bank in order to exchange for the necessities of their growing township.
So Lords of Catan, like its predecessor, uses that same basic mechanic, but it throws in some new twists. Being a legacy game, you're going to expect some weird stuff, and this one has it. According to the flavor text, the Lords of Catan are trying to settle an entire hemisphere, and this hemisphere is composed of several different islands on different maps.
So at the beginning of each round or each new game, you would draw one of these these map quest cards. You reveal it, and then you build the corresponding mapped tile using your tiles, and then you'll settle that island. Some of them are like skinny and long, some are very similar to the original, some are really tiny. It makes it for a really interesting makeup.
Another nuance is the intensely evil robber and what they did to change him up. You see, in the original game, the robber was placed every time a 7 was rolled, and he'd be placed on a tile, and then nobody would be able to get resources from that tile.
And if you thought that was dastardly, then buckle up, because in the Lords of Catan version, whenever a 7 is rolled...
Oh, actually, that's probably too much of a spoiler, so let's not talk about that.
Okay, fine. So, rein it back in. Tell us about the mechanic.
Well, first, one thing we can mention is the inclusion of highway stickers. You see, in this game, whoever gets the longest road, that road is made permanent by replacing the tokens with stickers on those tiles.
And that does really make it interesting for future games, because when you reset up next time, obviously those roads aren't going to connect, but any player can claim those as their own highways, which is cool.
Yeah, and it makes future rounds go a lot quicker, and initial placement becomes a lot more important. Theme.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, so theme-wise, obviously it's building on just a really rich heritage of a bunch of other games and expansions, and it ties right into that, and it makes really good sense. I've never really been a huge fan of the artwork for Settlers of Catan, but obviously the game is hugely popular, so that's okay. I think the flavor text has been really good so far, and yeah, obviously it fits really perfect in that genre. Replayability.
So, like Pandemic Legacy, and really any of the legacy games out there, the inherent replayability is going to be very limited. But with Lords of Catan, you do get 12 maps and a bonus mystery map after you complete the 12th round.
Do you know we never finished Pandemic Legacy?
You're not supposed to tell people that.
I mean, we loved it every life.
But we did get a lot of replayability out of Pandemic Legacy, and so I'm going to say that Lords of Catan is going to be very reasonably replayable. Enjoyability.
Yeah, so, I mean, I always have enjoyed Catan, and it holds a warm spot in my heart. I know it's not really in your top 10, but obviously there are tons of fans out there who have loved this game and have enjoyed it. I think this version just makes it all the better. It's a new experience, but it's the same familiar mechanics with some cool, great twists in there. If you enjoy Settlers of Catan, you're going to enjoy Lords of Catan, so go check it out. And if you've never played Settlers of Catan, I don't even know why you're watching this video. I still love you. Keep watching the videos. Go buy Lords of Catan when it comes out, and you'll love it.
Tantrum House gives Lords of Catan 2 thumbs up. Thanks, Greg. Just a meme. Okay. Say replayability.
Replayability. Some are long and skinny, some are big and small. Big and small.
I want to get better.